with F9 in both English and mathematics, Chief Justice of Nigeria, Tanko, studied law in the university. As you know that the president himself does not have O-level certificate, ordinary level certificate, and he got to a point where he could at least mount the military hierarchy, and he became a major general. It has been proved several times that he doesn't have O-level, and because of politics, several people, in fact, he made use of lawyers that are supposed to work for the nation. He made use of them without paying any of them. They actually fought in the court, they twisted a lot of things, and he eventually remained as president. Ibrahim Muhammad Tanko, the newly appointed Chief Justice of Nigeria, did not have passes in both English language and mathematics in his WIEC results. So many people are wondering how he now became a lawyer, how he was admitted to study law at Ahmadu Bello University without credits in the core subjects. In fact, these people in the north, they tend to make use of what they call affirmative action or positive discrimination. Now, in context of allocation of resources, employment, and the rest of that, that is when this came up, affirmative action. But when you look much closer, when you look at this, you realize that these people are just taking advantage of the rest of the southern part of Nigeria. Now, affirmative action, like I said, means positive discrimination. This can only be applied when people have been disadvantaged, people have been disenfranchised. If discrimination in areas of education and employment and the rest of those things, if this group of people have suffered this, or a race, like how it is in America, where African American, Hispanics, when they suffered discrimination, education wasn't available for women, education wasn't available for men, they had to go to a school where they weren't getting proper education. So that brought about affirmative action, positive discrimination or positive action, which incorporates some of the features of both positive discrimination, positive action. And now this, like I said, describes policies that support members of a disadvantaged group that have been previously discriminated against, suffer discrimination in different areas. In America, they suffered it as regards employment, housing, and a lot of things. That's why many of them have still not been able to get to their feet. So are we going to now apply this to the northern part of Nigeria? No, it is not so. They have chosen a religion, and they've chosen a culture that suits whatever it is. Everything is twisted, even the religion aspect of it in the northern part of Nigeria. Yes, there are people that went to school, they were able to go abroad to school in the northern part of Nigeria, but those are 0.1%. There are a few of them that might have been, normally they are smart as people and they are sharp as people, and they went to school, they studied, they got what they needed, and they're able to go to school and become very proficient in whatever it is that they are involved in. But it is not the case for a lot of them in the northern part of Nigeria, as 90, if I might use the word, 90% of them in the military do not have ordinary O-level certificate. They don't have it. They don't have the required, but then they are major generals. They are just there, and many of them also, when it comes to education, you realize that when people are asked to present, let's say example, 300 to get admission to study a particular course in the northern part of Nigeria, they tend to accept a very, very lower score, probably half of that, or let's say 100 rather than 300 to study the same course. That's why you never find them in any professional outfits such as corporate bodies. You never find them there unless somehow they found a way of looting money and they put their children there to be the head while they bring in the brains from the south to work the corporate organization. That's what they do. But you find them more in the military, you find them in any security agencies. If you go to customs, if you go to immigration, in fact, if you go to embassies all over the world, that Nigerian embassies, you will find Hausas. They are the one manning the key positions. Now, when you even look at all the appointees of Buhari, the top appointees, they are all Hausa Fulanese. And that is how Ibrahim Mohammed Tanko came in. He came in when Onogen was kicked out for some reasons or the other, and he was brought in. This is a man that does not have mathematics and English in his WIEC results. Many are therefore wondering how he got admission to study law in Ahmadu Bello University without the credits in these course subjects. The statements of the CGN WIEC result, was presented before the Judicial Council and the Senate as evidence that he was indeed admitted to study law only shows that he has 3 credits and 2 passes, that is C6 in Islamic religious knowledge, IRK, C4 in history, C5 in Hausa language, and pass in Arabic and pass in chemistry, but F9 in both English language and mathematics, as WIEC would not upload subjects in which candidates have F9 in their results, as the case of Muhammad Tanko. Is still the same person that is pushing for Sharia in Nigeria because that is what he's proficient in. That is what he's studying. And even the Sharia or whatever Islamic, he got C6. That is what he got. That's the last of the credit. It is general knowledge in Nigeria that without at least credits in both English language and mathematics in WIEC, not even passes, gaining admission into tertiary institutions is impossible. But in the case of Muhammad Tanko, this has left everyone suspicious. This is a practice in the north. That is why it is better we all break, because we do not, the law does not apply. Just look at ISBA and some other Sharia police and some other security agencies they have in the northern part of Nigeria. There weren't any problem from the south, because it's the people from the south are more mature, or rather, let's use the word, maybe docile sometimes. Now, there is a Amoteku that is being created. These people came up and start screaming. Why is it that the southern part of Nigeria cannot come together and forget the little differences? I am Igbo. Oh, is Yoruba, is Anago, is this and that. I am Biafran. I am Oduduwa. I am that. I am this. And all of those, very unproductive narrative. Oh, I am Ijo. Oh, I am this. And all of that. Why can't they come together and reason? Why would they be saboteurs to themselves? It is just a shame. Why can't they look deep into this and break the system? No, they won't do that, because some of them from the south that are part of the reasons why things are like this, they sit down, they enjoy, they loot themselves, and they know that if the system changes, they might not have the opportunity to steal and loot. Just imagine many of them, when they need votes, when they need people, they come out and speak as if the people are the reasons why they are serving and all of that. But look at what they build in their constituency, and look at the house that they claim that God gave them. Just look at the case of this man that has been ousted out of the Senate in Kogi State, Dino Melaye. Look at the new mansion that he has just presented himself, and look at the projects that he gave to his constituent, the same group of people that he wants them to keep on and on being his slave, so that he can control. And many of them, even in the eastern part of Nigeria, they are criminals, they are thieves. This is not about tribe. If it is about tribe, why is it that the governor of your state, the local government chairman of that your place, that senator representing your region, why is that they have nothing to offer you, even though you speak the same language? What does it mean? Inside of them, they are evil, they are criminals, all activities that they portray are endemic, satanic, and demonic. They care less about nobody. That is the reason why this will always continue. So, because of these groups of people that you will find as typical Nigerians, of course, we have the exceptional one, that is the reason why they don't want the country to break. And that is the reason why people like Tanko will mount that stage, that position, without the requirement, and people from the south are slaving to keep Nigeria the way it is, to make Nigeria function and work well. If I'm lying, show anyone from the northern part of Nigeria that has been totally productive, apart from people that got money from monopoly, and people like Dangote, they say the richest man in Africa. How did they become rich? A lot of people have not checked. Is it hard work? Is it God's blessing? Or somehow they manipulated the system and is able? That is why he said he will always thank Obasanjo. Is Obasanjo also without corruption attached to him? Although many times it has not been proved here and there and all of that. But then they have stories, there are a lot of stories of corruption allegations has also been put forward to him too. So these are what we are talking about. A lot of these things are all out there. And the reasons why this is so is because we have a lot of people from both regions that are cooperating to keep the system this way. Now, Tanko has publicly claimed that some vicious termites ate his primary school certificate in his village in Bauchi State, where he hails from. Reactions have continue to trail the WIEC result of the CGN. Some Nigerians are suspecting fraud or malpractice in the educational qualification of Tanko. Because of the sensitive position this man is holding, Nigerians are calling for the sack of Tanko to preserve the sanctity and sacred image of the Supreme Court, being the highest court in Nigeria. How can somebody that brought in results that are not in the right order, how can the person the person that is not qualified, how can this person now be the chief CGN, chief judge of Nigeria? That's a shame. So that's my own personal take about this. This is not right. This is not supposed to be. If you are not a member of this channel, let us grow together by you tapping on the subscription button and the red notification icon below. It will alert you whenever videos are uploaded. Thanks for stopping by.